Hello, and thank you for tuning in. I'm here with your First Warn 5 forecast for the rest of your Saturday, but also your weekend as a whole. Something that you will notice is that we are going to be much cooler these next 2 days than what the past 48 hours brought us. I think that we can all agree that's a pretty welcome change. Yesterday, afternoon highs felt like the triple digits when we factored in extra humidity that we had sitting in the air that we then turned into rain and storms in the evening time that disrupted a lot of our evening plans. Today looks very different. Now we still have warm temperatures and we still do have rain chances, but we're not talking hot temperatures, and we're not talking severe weather potentials. So just keep that in mind as we go through the rest of your day, but I'm here to get you prepared and break down everything you need to know about the rest of your weekend. Saturday, Sunday going to look very similar to each other. Cooler again than we've seen the past couple days, but then also they will both boast small rain chances in the afternoons and evenings on both days. Next greatest shot to find more scattered to widespread rainfall, that's going to arrive Wednesday. We have a first warn already in effect for that. That's a 40% chance of rain currently. We'll keep you posted as we continue to iron out the details, and especially as we get closer and start to pull in high resolution data that will really be able to break down exactly what Wednesday's rain and storm potential will look like. Right here, right now, though, doing pretty well in terms of those current temperatures. We have now all made it into the 70s. We hung around the 60s for a good chunk of the morning, now with plenty of sunshine and also some puffy clouds getting up and going out there. This is the current snapshot of the region, ranging from the low 70s to mid 70s. We are going to continue to warm up throughout the rest of the morning, reaching the 80s by about lunchtime, 86 degrees afternoon high today. That's here in the metro. Elsewhere, pretty similar. I'll show you that map here momentarily, but this really lays out the entirety of our day and holds everything that you need to know. So first, it will still be warm out there, but not with that incredibly sticky and sweaty humidity that we dealt with yesterday. We'll still have feels like temperatures to deal with, but that will not make a huge difference between what the mercury is reading and what our bodies register that heat as feeling like. Also, as we go into the evening and overnight, it's going to bring the chance for some spotty showers, maybe a stray rumble of thunder or two. Keep that in mind. It's not going to completely wash out your overnight plans, and that rain chance is by no means for everybody. It's not even close to what we had yesterday, but still possible we find some rain out there. Keep that in mind. I'll break down timing for you here now. So, forecast radar, walking you through it. Sunny, puffy clouds for the rest of the morning going into the early afternoon. Then right around 2 or 3 p.m., that's when we have the first or start of our rain chances. Previous models were bringing in rain earlier than this one is, and we're about to get another run of this same model. So I'll continue to keep you updated through the rest of the morning as we pull apart that data. But this most recent round of forecast radar data is holding off on the rain until later this evening, so about 5 or 6 o'clock, though there is the potential for that to happen earlier. That's why we have that rain chance starting right around 1 p.m. Then through the evening, the best chance to find rain in general is going to be from about 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock. That's when we start to try and pull in heavier downpours, maybe some just spotty showers that will try to get more scattered throughout the evening, but at most it looks to be like light rainfall for most of us. In isolated spots, though, that's where some heavier rain can be found, maybe a couple stray rumbles of thunder too. But all of this activity looking to stick south of I-70. That's been one thing that all of our data has been agreeing on over the past couple of days, though as we go into the very early morning hours of your Sunday, our friends in the eastern half of the region might be dealing with a couple stray rumbles of thunder even still. So this rain could linger into early Sunday morning, but that's the time that most of us are settling down for bed. And again, this rain really not going to affect the vast majority of us. That's why these rain chances are relatively low. There's that 20% kicking off at 1 p.m., continuing through 3 o'clock. Then we up that to a 30% chance at 5, continuing to hold that on the board into late night hours. So that's around 11 p.m. We'll allow that to then fall back down into a 20% that will carry us into early on your Sunday morning. Sunday does bring another chance for rain though too. So weekend forecast as a whole, comfortable, temperatures looking great, but that rain cannot be completely ruled out for either day. Rain chances right now are lower on Sunday than today, but the rain that we see on Sunday is greatly going to depend on how today's rain plays out. So breaking that down further, if we find more rain today, that will make for less rain on Sunday. But if we find less rain today, then we have the potential to find more on Sunday. So they really rely on each other and go hand in hand, and will be fighting over the same ingredients in the atmosphere. That's why they are interconnected like that. So Sunday morning, at the very least, what we're seeing is that there's going to be lingering rain from tonight into the early morning hours. Our most recent data for Sunday is trying to pull in some isolated downpours through the early morning. Let me back this timeline up. There we go. We can see that there. 4 a.m., 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. If you're headed out for some earlier morning plans, trying to mow the lawn before it gets warmer, know that you could be met with some rain, couple rumbles of thunder possible early Sunday. But again, that really depends on what happens this afternoon and evening. It's possible that we don't see this morning round at all. Then we'll try and calm down that rain momentarily into the afternoon before we then re-rack it, bring it back into the late afternoon hours, early evening, looking very similar to the activity we're anticipating today. Brief, isolated, heavier downpours, the possibility for some lightning and thunder, but relatively short-lived storms and downpours is what we're looking at today. And both days we are not concerned about severe weather threats. So this is just going to be friendly rainfall, something that could briefly interrupt your plans, will not wash them out altogether though. And speaking of, here's a look at potential rainfall totals. Nothing like what we saw these past couple of days. Maybe if you get stuck under a heavier downpour, that could drop a quick 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of rain, but that's going to be more miss rather than hit. So don't anticipate to be cashing in on some good, healthy rainfall for your lawn this weekend. Instead, just know it will be mostly dry, especially if you are north of I-70 or just in the northern half of the area as a whole, north of the metro. Even in the metro, we're not looking to tap into a whole lot of rain today, if any. Then we can see that most of that rain is going to try and fall in the southern half of us. So if you're headed south for the weekend, know that that could start to inhibit your plans more than the rest of us here locally. Just keep that in mind. Then on top of that, I also want to break down our high temperatures today and then what those will actually feel like when we factor in the little bit of humidity that we do still have on hand. They'll range from the low 80s to upper 80s here in the metro, ending up at 86 degrees this afternoon, right around normal or quote unquote average for this time of year. Essentially, this is what we would expect for an average July 12th afternoon here in Kansas and Missouri. So take advantage of it. Will still be very sunny out there to start the day, so you'll still need to be hydrating. It's not cool by any means, but definitely better than what we were feeling like yesterday in the triple digits. Feels like temperatures, once we factor in that humidity, I'll get you a breakdown of our map here. What you'll notice is that it's going to be a little bit warmer than we would like for our southernmost counties. They are going to be feeling like the 90s today. Still low 90s, much better than yesterday. In fact, trying to feel about 10 degrees cooler than yesterday, but still warm summer day out there. So we're not anticipating record low temperatures by any means. This is middle of the road, as average as you can get, and we will take that. That trend will continue into your Sunday. Feels like temperatures still a thing, still present, very similar to what we're going to find out there today. And then as we go into the work week, going to hang on to those rain chances even further, but we'll keep them low. So much like Sunday, Monday and Tuesday, we'll hold on to a 20% chance of rain. That really just looks like spotty showers. Again, nothing that's really going to slow you down at all. Then Wednesday is going to be our next greatest shot to find rain, some of which could be heavier rain. We have a lot of longer range models starting to pull in a lot of ingredients that would lend to a heavier rainfall day. By heavy rainfall, I mean quick accumulations of about an inch or so. So not a washout, at least not at this time. We'll keep you updated if that changes. We're also going to monitor for storm potential. Currently not looking to have severe weather threats on Wednesday, but as we pull in new data throughout the rest of today, we will be ironing out those details actively and keeping you informed every step of the way. Once we get past Wednesday's rain chance, much like what we did Friday into today, we're going to find another cool down, at least taking us back to average for this time of year. So very similar on Thursday and Friday of next week as what you're going to feel today and tomorrow. So if you're not a fan of the 90-degree temperatures, I know I personally am not. They will be back Monday, Tuesday, but just hold tight because we will try and tap into another cool down late next week. Recently, our newer data is trending slightly warmer than we were originally hoping for late next week, but still trying to take things back down to seasonable, average, comfortable, any way you want to put it. Looks to be a good way to wrap up the upcoming work week. Here's your Security Bank 7-day forecast as a whole. Small roller coaster in terms of temperatures. You'll notice that they don't change a whole lot, but there is a lot of ebb and flow between the 80s and the 90s and then back down to the 80s. That really depends on the weather makers that swing through those rain chances. Wednesday specifically going into early Thursday, that especially will determine how our temperatures late next week end up. But other than that, as always, we are going to keep you updated as we continue to filter through all the data and get together Wednesday's rain and storm potential. Just know that as of right now, if you have outdoor plans on Wednesday, just be keeping this in mind. Be looking ahead. Know that there is the potential to find rain, and if we do find rain in the upcoming 7 days or so, Wednesday is going to be the best chance to find it. So just keep that in your back pocket. As always, we'll be updating you. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Saturday.